Alright guys, how we going? So let's do this. So welcome to another live stream. We're going to be talking to Trisrex today. Obviously been following him for a while now, and this will be our first time we actually chat in person. So extremely looking forward to it. He's an awesome maker, creature artist as well. So yeah, once he's here, we'll get going and have a cool chat for an hour. Definitely looking forward to hear his story and how he got started in the whole world of making. So yeah, just while we wait for him to come into the chat, so had an amazing trip to Switzerland and France. Just got back last Saturday, last week. So yeah, so it was cool. Went to fancy Basel and caught up with all my Swiss and European friends over there. So it was really cool to catch up with them. Right, so he's not here yet, so we're just waiting for him to come through. So, hello, how are we going? So thank you for joining us. If you guys have any questions for any of us, so make sure you type a question down there, and we'll do our best to answer those questions. All right, so hopefully he'll come on soon. We can have a chat. So obviously back in the studio. It's nice to be back here after being away for about 10 days. Got some pretty exciting news. No, I've never been to a Canadian con. I would love to go one day. Seeing so many amazing costumes and stuff over there, and if it happens one day, I definitely can. Obviously, have to get invited out there. It's a bit hard to make it by myself now with a little one. No, unfortunately, as I said, the backstory to the Superman suit is I was going to visit Parallel Life Studio in France, but unfortunately they are packing up to move to Montreal, so I decided not to go and see them. I just didn't want to get in the way of the packing, so they surprised me with a suit to wear for the day in fancy Basel. It was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool suit. Apparently I couldn't stop smiling all day because backstory is when I was 4, my auntie took me to see Superman. It was my first movie I ever seen in my life. I remember going home and put the towel around my neck and write S on the t-shirt, and obviously trying to curl my hair down as well. There he is. Let's invite that man in. Go with a block nose. It's winter here. It's getting a bit cold, so I hope you guys can hear me fine. Hello, hello, hello. Yay!
Hey,
Finally being in person, sort of.
what's going on? I know, right? We've been friends for years virtually, and
Yeah.
first time getting to meet virtually, but that's all good. How you doing over
Good.
there?
I'm doing good, doing good. Just chilling out on a Sunday afternoon now.
Oh
So just
yeah,
chilling
it,
out.
it, it is Sunday. It is Sunday. I keep
Yeah,
forgetting
yeah.
because it's
We are a day ahead in a few hours after you.
okay, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Because I was like Sunday. Okay, all right,
yeah.
I'm good.
Okay.
No
Yeah,
longer
man. It's
confused.
awesome. It's good to finally meet face to face, at least face to face.
Yeah, man. I'm a huge fan of your work.
Oh,
I love what you do, personally and the stuff that you do for Weta. So, it's a long time coming. It's a long time coming. I can't wait till you get over to the States. When you
yeah,
get over
man.
to the States, it's gonna be real good to
Yeah,
meet up and you know,
yeah, man. Hope definitely. Definitely like this.
get in the shop.
the- Yeah, there's a few things in the works right now. If all the stars align, or something will happen pretty soon. So I'll let you guys know as soon as that come up.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure,
Anyway,
for sure.
for the guys out there who don't know who you are, you want to give a introduction of what you do.
Yes, I am Trisrex. Uh, First name Tristan, last name Rex. I am a monster maker, foam fabricator, by night, and during the day I'm a data analyst. But monster making has always been a passion of mine. Started out doing cosplay with some of the big armor builds and things of that nature. Quickly went straight back to my passion, which has always been monsters, and creatures of some sort, right? And after that, that's pretty much where I pretty much made a name for myself, being a monster maker, but doing it with foam. So that's a little bit different compared to you know, the traditional ways that you might do it. So it's something that I'm kind of bridging the gaps, which taking that old school special effects actor in the suit, but making it out of like the new techniques that we have when it comes to the cosplay materials like the EVA foams, dowels, foam clay, and things of that nature. And I'm just an all around creature lover and animal lover, and yeah, just trying to make the world
Is
a little bit creepier.
it? Honestly, like you do like big stuff. You know, you honestly for me, I do more of the tinier stuff because I always have to pack my suitcase to travel overseas. But obviously, with you do like massive like you know, aliens and creatures and stuff like that. You
Yeah,
must have pretty big studio.
yeah. I'm in here. I'm not sure how much you can see because I
Yeah,
got to rearrange some stuff like I
yeah.
was telling you, but
Oh,
got a big old 2 car garage. That's the queen's head
yeah.
right behind me. I
Damn.
got to move. Oh, that's almost a spoiler, but I got to move her into place and get her situated. But yeah, I'm making it work in a 2 car garage, but it's getting tight. It's getting tight, I
Oh, it
must
must
say.
be. It must be. Yeah, man. So,
Yeah.
so when do you decide like that making big project was the thing for you? So what's that one moment you're like, oh damn, you know what? Let's make big stuff.
You know, it's funny because I was always working up to the Alien, the Royal Guard Alien that I premiered in 2022. Because a lot of the stuff, if you look at the Hellbat armor that I
Yeah,
did,
yeah,
and if you look at stuff like the trench creature that I did from
yeah,
Aquaman, you could see like the makings of like the elongated
yeah,
head or the piping in the
yeah,
bat suit. So I was always working up to it. I never said anything, but I knew that I was gonna do it around like 2019. Once we finally got a house and I got the space because that's truly where my passion was. Like I always say I'm like a Stan Winston kid,
yeah,
right? Because as much as I love the superhero suits and things of that
yeah,
nature, one of the things that really made me love film was Aliens, Jurassic Park, Pumpkinhead, Predator, and all of these big creatures. So early on, like when I saw the making of Jurassic Park on ABC,
yeah,
that just blew my mind. You know, that just blew my mind to know that there was somebody inside of those raptor suits and like seeing how they made the big T-Rex puppet
yeah,
and things of that nature. I think that's just where my joy and my passion is. Not to say that I don't like making like human size and like smaller creatures because I love that just as well. But just
yeah.
making the big creatures is just something that I like it because it just lets me be a kid. Simple,
Oh,
just lets me be a kid all over
oh,
again. Each
oh, big
one.
time. Like I remember watching Jurassic Park for the first time. I also remember that whole scene of just the water cup, just the ripple, just doom. That's like
Mm-hmm. Yep.
that one scene, and when the T Rex came down, and the kid showed the light in his face, the pupil kind of like dilated. It was like I
Mm-hmm.
was like, what the hell? How did they do that? And then that movie was amazing. Obviously, then watching behind the scenes how they had a real life animatronics, T Rex, and then you watch behind the scene again how it was getting so soaking wet that it was too heavy for animatronics. I
Mm-hmm.
love those
She
kind
was
of stuff.
shaking.
I know,
Yeah.
for me it's like, and then obviously a big fan of Lord of the Rings. Growing up, I buy all the extended edition DVD, and I watched the movie a few times, but I watched the making of the movies pretty much once a week,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
ages, because
Yeah.
as I said, that what drive me, that what inspire me to do stuff, because the way they talk about making things is so it's almost like when you're meditating or when you're obviously I'm being Buddhist, it's kind of almost like hearing kind of someone chanting. It get you in the mood, make you want
Mm-hmm.
to craft, want to create a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely get that. And just listening to, I would say one of the things is just listen, one of the things that always inspired me is just like listening to how they talk about the creatures after it was made. Like, oh, we didn't know if that was gonna work.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad that worked.
Yeah.
The experimentation was just like on a super high level when
Oh
it
yeah,
comes to
man.
some of these movies that we've grown to love, and it's just one of the things that kind of like give me a little bit of it helps me give myself a little bit of leeway.
Yeah.
And one of the things I always say in like some of my workshops or panels is like it's always an experiment until it works.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna keep trying and banging my head on stuff, but y- yeah, I'm pretty sure you can say the same. Like you
Yeah.
never know what's really gonna
Oh,
work
I mean, like,
until like the third or second try.
especially like on my latest project, that guy there, the Wish King, I
Hmm.
thought I would challenge myself and see if I can make the whole thing out of cardboard. To be honest, like for the first quarter of the build, the whole cardboard phase, the whole masking tape phase, I'm like, have I made a mistake? Is this going to look terrible? Then
Hmm.
I start paper macheing with tissue and PVA glue, and it's like, oh, it's looking okay, it's not bad. But it wasn't until I put paint on it, I was like, oh, hold on,
Yeah.
this could
Yeah.
this could be a thing. It's probably the same with you as well. When you start foaming stuff, something big, you like go, oh, is this going to work? And then when you finally have that click moment, yeah, we got this.
Yeah.
That's when the whole build just goes.
And I love that moment, and I know what you're speaking of,
Yeah,
and it's just a feeling of like when you see it all come together. And with me, like a lot of the creatures that I make with the Aliens project has been
mm,
so big, right?
yeah,
Is that when I finally do the test runs as far as like assembly and
yeah,
how I'm gonna move them as a puppet, that's like literally when I first see them like come together.
yeah,
Other than that, I'm just building like different inputs, almost like big action figures,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
As far as like how I want everything to contort and articulate
yeah,
as far as what I wrote for the scene or whatever.
yeah,
So
yeah.
sometimes you don't see it till like the day of,
Oh yeah,
or like when you're
yeah.
almost done.
It's like, oh
You
damn,
know,
it better work.
yeah, it's like it has to work.
Yeah,
Like in 2023, I didn't see the Queen alien on her full
yeah.
stand till we got to C2E2 because I knew I needed a forklift.
Oh shit.
I knew I needed a forklift,
Yeah,
but I knew it was going to work because all the calculations, the weight test,
yeah,
all the other stuff, you know, and it's made out of foam. It's not like she's 1,000 pounds. She
yeah,
might be 100 and 150 pounds just
yeah,
because of the wood base.
yeah,
So it was one of those things where I knew if she looked right on her own, like at a lower position,
yeah,
once I got her up on the stand, that she would look good. So same thing, you
yeah.
figure it out when you had an aha moment. It's like, yep, this gonna work. This gonna
Obviously,
work.
like you have experience, so you like it's kind of like experimenting, but you kind of done it before a similar way. So you kind of have a little like base knowledge or a little template that for me anyway, all my costume is kind of like the same proportions, same kind of formula. So I know it's going to work. All I'm
Hmm.
doing is I'm just tweaking a little bit here and there. Probably same as you as well. You might have a base that you kind of like base with the creature on, but you might just make it a bit larger, a bit smaller here and there. So you kind
Yeah,
of know that, like at least 70% is going to work. Hopefully, the other 30 is just the other experimentation you have to do.
yeah, yeah. And building up that base of knowledge is key,
Mm.
and it takes a while to do. I had to
And
burn and,
yeah,
and mess up a lot of
oh yeah,
foam.
yeah,
I had to go through a lot of foam to get that knowledge. So it's something that I try to pass on to people
yeah,
as quickly as possible. Like, all right, don't make that same mistake I made, or make
yeah.
that same mistake I made,
Oh
and then tweak it to make it fit what
yeah,
you want.
oh yeah, man.
But yeah, it's just the beauty of the grind. It's the beauty of it.
Oh, I mean, like, sometimes I say to people all the time, don't copy what I do. Give it a go, but
Hmm.
do your own thing. Use what I do as a base, but definitely try to explore your own style, your own method, because we all different. We all think differently, and the last thing I want to do is make clone of myself because that would just be terrible.
Yeah, just keep cloning, keep pulling the
Yeah,
spicy ties and then just
yeah.
doo,
Even
doo,
like
doo, doo.
even when I'm teaching it, I've been teaching for the last 4 years at a drama school, the costume and the prop class, and I'll go there and I'll give them a brief, and I'll say, go for it. I say, do you think if you get stuck, come and ask me? I might show techniques, like basic techniques here and then, but the last thing I want to do is try to influence their crafting method. I want them to explore, make mistakes, and work out some cool technique. Because sometimes some of the stuff they come up with actually teach me something as well. I'm like, wow, I
Mm-hmm.
never thought about that, and that is an awesome idea.
Yeah, yeah. And that individuality is always going to come through anyway.
Yeah,
One of the things that I learned is um just just because you give them a template or a character or something else, for each student, with each student or each workshop
yeah,
participant, it's always
yeah,
going to come out just a little bit different because their execution just might be a little bit different.
yeah,
And I'm just noticing and appreciating how differently we see things.
mm,
And I noticed that sometimes one of the things that I always try to let makers know is just like some being perfect and having a one for one is cool sometimes. Excuse me. Sometimes, if that's what you're going for,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
But sometimes let your imagination speak. Let those different angles tell you something differently.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't necessarily basically in short, don't be scared to let your own ideas flow, although you might
No,
be using somebody else's design or character because I always look at it as a sandbox.
yeah,
Like I'll never try to recreate the alien.
yeah,
It's perfect.
yeah,
It's the perfect creature. You know what I'm saying? What H.R. Geiger did, and then how it was passed on
yeah,
with the Queen, with Stan Winston and
mm,
James Cameron,
yeah.
and then if anything, I just want to be able to add to that. Like
Oh yeah, man.
my here's the alien via my language,
Oh, big
playing
time.
in their
This,
sandbox,
yeah.
but this is my
Oh,
representation of it.
I mean, I mean, like that's how I try to inspire guys through my work too. Is not to just copy what's out there. Put your own culture into it.
Yeah,
Put your own, identity, your own stamp into your piece of work. Because like I mean, like it's as you say, it's cool to have a perfect replica of something. Like for example, I'm a big fan of Power Rangers, and I've got a perfect replica of the helmet here, which is cool. It's cool to
yeah,
have. But damn, I love this stuff. But it's always nice as well to do your own take on something. Like, that's my own take on Nova, all this kind of stuff, because it's 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 something you see through your eyes and you are showing it to the world. Kind of like give them like a little appreciation of how you think and how it's just a nice individuality into the costume.
yeah,
But
yeah,
it's quite funny you mentioned the whole Giga and James Cameron. Obviously, I've been to Switzerland quite a few times now, and I was lucky enough
yeah.
to visit the Giga Museum.
Hmm.
So that was amazing. I mean, like that guy, he's a madman. I mean, he's brilliant, brilliant, beautiful drawings, but wow. And my last trip to Paris, I was lucky enough to saw James Cameron's exhibition as well.
Hmm.
And
The
I
pictures you
never,
sent me, right?
yeah, I
Yeah.
never knew how good of an illustrator he is. I,
Oh
I,
yeah.
I knew that he
Oh
drew.
yeah.
I knew drew the picture of Rose on the Titanic. I know he can draw, but um, there was drawings of the Terminator, the aliens Queen, aliens armor and guns, and what he drew is what we got.
Hmm.
So it's for me, it's
Hmm.
like it's a nice way to understand how the man think, how meticulous he is, how much a perfectionist he is, and he's that way because he can draw, he can make, so he know what he wants, right? So when you're working for him, hey, you better get it right, otherwise you're in
Yeah.
trouble.
Everybody, it's funny because I've seen the making of Aliens so many times, whether it be the movies that made us or
Yeah,
like some of the stuff they have on DVD,
yeah,
and now they have the Aliens expanded documentary, which I'm looking forward to seeing because uh, I see a lot of similarities. and some of the things that they say, as far as like he's so proficient at so many
yeah,
jobs. It's kind of hard to like uh add your own input or go against what he says, because one of the things that he really has is that vision.
yeah,
And I think it's one of the cool parts is like him starting off as a model maker for Roger Corman,
yeah, yeah,
rest in peace.
yeah,
um it gave him a super leg up on how to actually build and flesh out
yeah.
not only just characters but a whole entire world.
Oh yeah,
And
you know, like he,
that was, and that's just one of the reasons why I always like to just like sit back and watch his movies and just take a step
oh yeah,
back
yeah, man,
and
you
just
have to,
look at everything, because I know he thought about everything
yeah,
in that Avatar movie. I know he knows everything about that Titanic ship,
yeah,
and I
yeah,
know everything about the Hive and stuff.
yeah.
So he's just a world builder.
Yeah, like what's cool is like he said in the exhibition that he he tend to draw after he wakes from his dreams. He'll dream of something that he will, as soon as he wake up, he'll sit there, he'll write down, he'll draw straight away. And for me, that's pretty cool. Cause we all wake up from a dream like, oh, that would be a cool idea for a show, but we always like we never write it down, we never draw it. But it's quite cool that how he come up with ideas and how he know what he wants, which is really good because sometimes we work for directors who might not be quite sure what they want, or they might they know once they see it, right? You get those kind of
Hmm.
directors. But James Cameron, he knows what he wants straight away, which is really good for us as makers because we know where to go. So we know,
Exactly.
and sometimes that works too because like he he will make his movie his way. It's not being done by influence of any outside noise. You know, where some movies now these days there's so much influence by social media, what people say, input by producers, by many other people, where the movie sometimes is not made by the director himself. But with James Cameron, you know, he's that's his movie. You know,
Hmm.
work work or it doesn't work, it's still his movie, and he can explain it his way, which for me is definitely the best way to make movies. I reckon.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things where I love, it's a double edged sword, right?
Yeah,
Because I love the impact that we as fans have on like on social media, when it comes to like movies and things of that nature. But then just using that example of the Sonic movie,
yeah,
the design, everybody hated it. They got bashed online.
yeah,
Next thing you know, they changed it in the next trailer. It
mm,
looked more like the original design. I think the double edged sword is that it's just like us as an artist. And now that I am working on the film, being able to tell your story that your way
mm,
is very important, And I love that the audiences have a lot of
yeah,
input, but I feel that it can tarnish the efficacy of what filmmakers and what artists want you to see,
yeah,
because I believe everybody has a voice.
yeah,
And when it comes to the story, sometimes it might not look good in the trailer, or something else might look off. But give it some time, be patient,
yeah,
accept what they're
yeah,
giving.
yeah.
That's just my take on it.
Again, it's their point, it's their opinion, it's their point of view. You know, it's I mean, for me, like I do enjoy trailers. I like trailers. I love seeing images, to market the film. But back when I was young, all you got was a poster. Remember those
Hmm.
days?
Yeah. Yep.
There was no trailer. I
Hmm.
mean, you might be lucky. You go watch a movie, you get a little trailer at the movies,
And
right?
it was like
But
teasers back
it's a little
then.
tease. But
They
for me, like
wasn't 3 minutes and stuff like
yeah,
nowadays.
so I almost like I would love a director or filmmaker just to go back to old school, just give us the poster. Like for example, like the Fly. All you got was that tag and this little fly coming out, and that's it.
Hmm.
Do something like that where it's for me. It's like it's the unknown. Yeah, that look cool, but we know the director, we know the actors in the movie. Let's go and see what it's like. Whereas now we go in with so much expectation, so much,
Hmm.
already like we pretty much already like make up the mind can like the movie or not before we even go see the movie, right? But back
Right.
then, you go and see it because you're like, you know what, that poster look cool. I like the director, I like the actor. Let's go and enjoy it. Then you mostly come out like, wow, that was cool.
Yeah,
Then now you come out like, going, oh, I thought it was gonna be like this, but it was like this. So I guess for me,
right.
it'd be nice to have a movie where all you get is a poster, and let's just go and see what it's like.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the mystery. The mystery of it all is
Yeah,
what's missing.
yeah,
And especially when it comes to like everything being a sequel, well, not a sequel, but like a reboot or a prequel to like things that we already know. It's kind of hard to do that because I understand from the business perspective, you gotta sell
yeah,
the movie, right? We don't have the level of anonymity when it comes to like directors being closed off about their projects and things of that nature, especially social,
mm,
you know, like for Jurassic World, I'm not sure if you remember, but it was around a little bit before the actual trailer came out. We
yeah.
saw pictures of the Indominus Rex on a toy box. It
Oh
leaked
yeah,
out.
yeah. I find
it
it I find it really weird because you go see a movie, the toy's already out, so you know what they're
yeah,
going to look like before you go and see it.
yeah, and it's like a lot of the if you look at some of the Lego boxes and things of that nature, it's like they're acting out full scenes in the movie on the box.
Yeah,
It's like, don't do
yeah,
that. I don't
yeah,
want
man.
to know.
Yeah,
Like, I would have
yeah,
loved to have not seen the Indominus Rex before the trailer, or just not seen it at all until you got to the movie. But um, yeah, yeah, I hope I could bring a little bit of that mystery back. That's
yeah,
why I kind of been quiet about some of the things that I've been
yeah,
building behind the scenes because
yeah, man.
at the end of the day, I want to surprise you.
Yeah, man. That's how it should be. Good. Bam, there it is. I mean, like, but for me, the worst two that come to mind is, um, Avengers, not Endgame, Infinity War. They show Spider-Man. So, oh, come on!
Yes,
Don't the
yeah,
on the
don't,
trailer.
yeah,
And other one was How to Train a Dragon. How they showed them his mum. Like, oh man, I should keep that as a secret. That would have been cool.
yeah,
Don't show us. So that's the two that came to mind when you're speaking about spoilers and trailers.
yeah.
But
It's a long list of those nowadays. It's just what you remember.
yeah,
It's
I'm sure I
it's just
remember.
like nowadays. It's just like, come on now, and then if you continue, I think one of the things also with the trailers,
Mm.
the reason why I like that Alien Romulus trailer,
Yeah,
speaking of weather,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I
Oh,
like
that's right.
that it doesn't really give anything away.
Yeah,
They gave you some snippets from Fede
yeah,
as far as talking about like the timeline and why he
yeah,
chose the age of the characters. But we
yeah,
still have like even with all the extensive knowledge that I do have, it's like I still don't know where he's gonna take it.
yeah,
And I like that. I just wanna like go in with an open mind
yeah.
and just be able
Just
to have fun.
just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Anyway, we talk
Yeah.
about enjoyment and like obviously like let's go back to crafting. We kind of like went on the tandem talk about movies. But
Well,
anyway,
that's what we do.
yeah, man. And so I mean, like obviously, like you said, you're a phone fabricator, or like with phone play and stuff like that. So as you know, with the age of technology these days, there's so much machines, so much like programs out there. How important is it to keep everything handmade as much as you can?
For me, very,
Yeah,
very important. Depending on what it is, right? Like, say for example, if it's something like a weapon, depending on what kind of weapon, or if it's something like futuristic, or like, say for example, something kind of like a pulse rifle, or
yeah, yeah,
like things of that nature. I could see, depending on how many you need, I could
yeah,
see where there could be a need to bust out some 3D printers or have something else, be able to replicate those out just for the
yep,
speed. But when
yep,
it comes to like the things that you create
yeah,
in different creatures of some sorts, it's just having it being handmade and having it being done in a practical sense, void of CGI.
mm,
It's it's something that the eye just can't be fooled from. It's like because we could, as the viewers, like we've seen so many things, on the big screen
yeah,
as of now, right?
mm,
Is that you still can't fool the eye when it comes to what's actually in camera.
Yeah.
And having something being handmade, when you see it in person, you can see that it's like super intricate. This side doesn't necessarily match that side because depending
Yeah.
on what it actually is, it doesn't make sense for it to match,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
You know, like with creatures, it's like, okay, symmetry is one thing, right?
Mm.
Um, as far as having that silhouette, but as far as like having wrinkles here and maybe like
Yeah.
some battle damage there, you know, depending on the actual story and the
Mm.
creature that you want to go for, sometimes that doesn't make sense. And really being able to like have your hands do the talking and getting into some of those fine details that you wouldn't necessarily normally see. But like if it's a
Yeah.
close up shot or if you see it in person, I have so much respect and so much admiration for it because I know how daunting it can be to create a lot of that stuff by hand, which is
Mm.
why, you know, still to this day, it's like as much as I love 3D printing and what it could
Yeah.
do, um, when it comes to these hands, it's
Mm.
like no limit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Because I know as soon as I think it, it's just like my hands just do the talking.
Yeah.
They just do the talking, do the talking. But depending on, you know, like what needs to be done, I could see that there's a need for it. But I think that
Oh yeah.
everything should be explored. But for
Yeah.
me personally, I'm always gonna do it by hand first.
Yeah.
And
Same here. I
then
mean,
if it
like,
don't work, then maybe something else. I'll figure it
yeah.
out. But by
Yeah.
practically and by hand is always gonna be me.
Yeah. I mean, like, as you see, like, if you're making a suit of armor that's supposed to be done in medieval time, you know, you should make it by hand because both sides won't be
Exactly.
equal, won't be the same. You know, if you are making a Halo armor, like for example, maybe 3D printing is the way to go because it's supposed to be made by machines, clean and stuff like that. So obviously, it's important to pick the method and the tool and the reason why together, rather than just doing it for the sake of it,
Yeah,
pretty much.
yeah. And it's just the DNA of the character
Yeah,
or what you want to make. I think that was a very good, you know, explanation as far as like the Halo versus the medieval time armor.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that's cool. But one of the things that I will say is that in the cosplay community, sometimes people see the 3D modeling and 3D printing as cheating. And one of the things I always tell them, well, I'm like, yeah, it does a little bit, does the fabrication for you, right? But
yeah.
you still got to sand it,
Mm.
you still got to prime it, you still got
Yeah,
to paint. So
yeah,
they not getting off as easy as you would think
yeah,
because there's a skill in that too. So,
yeah,
you know, although it's not my choice of how I create, I
yeah,
still respect that, you know, the heck out of it because I
yeah,
know that there's a lot of work just to be done after that. You know, so some of the same things, you know, we have some of the same horror stories as far as like scenes and things of that nature. So, you know, it's the same after a certain point.
yeah. That's it. Like all those, you try and stand off all the 3D printing parts, lines, sorry, they can take a long time. And for me, it just when you get 3D print, people have to almost kind of adjust it to your own body because you know, when you download a file, maybe it's made for someone else who maybe a bit shorter, a bit taller than you are. So it's quite important to be able to customize that piece to make that fit you. It's a big challenge too. It's not that simple. You can't just push print and go, bam, it's on, it's done. No, you have
Yeah,
to make sure you have to, especially like that. The pull for the band brace, for instance, if your arm is longer than the guy who made it for you or shorter, you have to adjust the length of the band brace to make sure you can fold your arms and other stuff as well.
yeah,
So
yeah. It's never as simple as it seems. You know, people think it's always just, you know, pressing a button, but you're right. You're right. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that's why I just love phone because with foam, you know, you just see it right there as soon as you cut it out.
yeah, it's a lot more faster. You get a fast return rather than like you have to wait overnight to wake up in the morning. Oh, please work, please work, please work, please fit.
Right. And
Yeah,
then you lose half your filament that you got
yeah,
with
yeah.
something like failing during the middle of the print or just figuring out that it's just like just doesn't fit you.
I mean,
Um,
for me, like for this guy here, I was watching the 3D printer putting this out. I'm like, go, it's having all the fun. I want to make it for myself. You
yeah,
know, that was my. so,
yeah.
I,
It's like
so I was getting
it
jealous of the
is.
3D printer printing it out. I was like, oh,
I didn't think of it like that. It is
yeah,
having the fun because the fun is for me, and I'm pretty sure you could attest to this too, is the journey.
Yeah.
I like to know that if something might not work.
Yeah.
I kind of get a kick out of that. Maybe
Yeah,
it's the
man.
athlete in me.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's 15 seconds on the shot clock, or
Yeah, man.
first and whatever. Can they do it? I
Yeah.
like the thrill of trying to do something
Yeah.
new.
I,
And
I
I would
guess that's
say the
why.
one.
Yeah. Yeah. You go.
I would say the one thing that is probably differs with me doing creatures is probably a lot of the details. And
Yeah.
thankfully, I was so in. When I took theater, I did a lot of stuff with the chiffons and
Yeah.
red clay, so
Yeah.
I knew how to sculpt and knew how to do certain things of that nature. But when I started working with foam clay, I found it to be even easier because there was a lot of details that if I was to sculpt traditionally,
Yeah.
mold and pull it,
Yeah.
that I would kind of lose, you
Yeah.
know. And like using my version of Xenomorph, for example,
Yeah.
I knew I didn't want it to be latex, not because that was the traditional way of doing it, and I wanted to do foam. I knew that I wanted my Xenomorph to be more insect-like
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
had a lot of inspiration from arthropods, like
Yeah.
a lot of old lobsters, praying mantis. If you see the
Yeah.
way that they
Yeah.
torsos kind of like a line and things of that
Yeah.
nature, I really wanted it to look hard and have that shiny appeal to it, which is why the foam technique really worked for that. But yeah, it's just one of those things that the difference is just after the foam clay, sealing it, then I'm doing stuff with garbage bags, and I'm
Yeah.
also using latex and stuff
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well. It's a modge podge of things, so it's different reasons why I choose those
Yeah.
specific weapons
Yeah, man. You
based
have
on
to.
the body parts.
Yeah. So basically, you have a little library of knowledge in your head of equipments of materials that you can draw on to to create whatever effect that you need. Which is for me, you come to experience. You won't know until you try it out. Experiment. Sometimes fail, but sometimes those fails, those happy fails, those happy accidents can aid in your next project. Like maybe something didn't cure properly. Hey, that's not bad. I'll leave that for back of my mind if I have to make something similar later on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this question for you: have you ever tried flexible foam clay yet? I don't know what
Oh,
that is.
stay at home. I haven't tried it just yet. So basically, we just finally got a chance to meet each other at Planet Comic Con.
Yeah,
Really cool guy. Got some really great armors and things of that nature that you just gotta see in person. Great foam builder.
yeah,
But he ran across a company that makes foam clay, and that's pretty much the stuff that I've been using to sculpt the xenomorphs and stuff.
yeah.
But they have a kind that's it seals and hardens, but it's flexible at the same time.
That's nice.
So yeah, yeah. So I haven't tried it just yet, mainly because I haven't picked
A
the
project for it.
perfect project. Yeah, I like to kind of like have like a specific need for it, but that's something that will save me a lot of time. Save me a lot of time if I could get some clay that actually moves and could take the wear and tear. Because
Yeah,
now it's not so much for me personally. It's not so much about like, go ahead, mom, it's okay. Not about me just putting it
yeah,
on, looking good across
yeah,
stage. It's more so about clanging and banging,
yeah,
uh, large action scenes,
yeah,
different things happen. So durability is always going to be key. So if I get something that could actually flex as I'm working with it,
yeah.
perfect.
That's quite interesting. Looking forward to see what you do with it. A flexible clay. Obviously, I tried some foam clay before, and once it's dry, it can be a little bit rigid and it can tear. So looking forward to see what the flexible stuff is going to be like.
Yeah, yeah. And foam clay is just really it's a little bit of a learning curve because it's all about the layering as far as like having a solid base underneath it and then how you seal it.
Yeah,
And then where you actually use the foam clay, like every part of the creature or the armor might not be foam clay, it just might be foam clay in certain parts
yeah.
to give it a certain effect. So it's
Even
like a drug at first. It's like you just want to use it on everything because
everything.
it's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah,
I just got this
But
power,
yeah,
this
man.
new power. And now it's
We're
more
like,
like,
obviously, like the way you sculpt with it is quite different with clay too. It kind of like it bounce a certain way, and when you try to put detail in it, it kind of bounce back. So you have to find the perfect timing.
you know,
Okay, do I do while it's wet, or do I let it dry for a bit so I can like get more sharper detail? So it's definitely something where you want to do a little tester or a little like little research, a
yeah,
little patch first before you start doing your big creatures, and you find out, oh no, I've left it too long. It's gone too hard now. I can't get detail
that,
in it.
and that's the one thing that I actually had a class in at home at this past December,
Yeah,
and we didn't get the chance to get into that part as far as like putting the details in it. But I was kind of showing them some references and explaining because, and I'm glad that you brought that up because one of the differences between the red clay,
yeah,
like the Chavons or
yeah,
Monster clay and things of that nature, and foam clay, is that foam clay as it that air hits it.
yeah,
Basically, what spicy time means is that it puffs up.
yeah,
So there's different lines and striations that you can make. Like this is my hand
yeah,
in a red clay foam,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
But then this is my hand,
yeah,
in
yeah,
the foam clay portion, and then all of these lines just puff up. So
yeah,
over time you lose it.
yeah,
And one of the things that I found out is that um when I'm doing my initial scope, I don't sweat it. I make my initial lines as far as where I want to make it.
yeah,
I get my details in as far as like the skin or the follicles and things. And then what I do is I let it dry and I go over with a hot tool pen or the
yeah, yeah,
soldering iron. Cause that's what really gets it in there. And then you hit it with your Dremels and your uh your sanders and
standing.
things of that nature so it can really stick. But that was one of the biggest learning curves that I had to like really get used to right away because it's like I just sculpted this perfect blah blah blah. And then I go
And
to the
now the
other
details
side
gone.
and I see it I
Yeah,
see it just puffing up and puffing up as dry as it gets. I'm like, but
yeah,
after I figured that out, I was
yeah,
like, okay, okay. So there's a sculpt, then there's a resculpt after it,
yeah,
slash
yeah,
sand
yeah.
or burning process.
The way I
Yeah,
see it, like before foam clay, we used to like won't do any detail. We have to stack up foam. Remember back to it, but now you can build up that stacked up foam clay and then go into the dribble, and you can do all the finishing later. So
yeah.
so that's how I use my foam clay. Rather than stacking
That's
up all this foam, I just make it rich, and I go do a little details and stuff later on. Cause
yeah,
rather otherwise you get stuck doing one little piece. Everything else is all dry. You're still doing this little bit, trying to get a little detail in there. I just quickly sculpt the whole thing, get it all nice and shaped I want. Once it's dry,
hmm
I'll go in the Dremel and I'll finish it off later on.
yeah. It's a small learning curve, but I
Yeah,
would say
but I
if
still,
yeah, but I would say if you know how to sculpt with hard and wet clay, once you get over that, it's gonna be pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same.
as you said,
But
it is a yeah,
the base,
just get the base done, and it is a drug too. Once you use it once, you want to use it for everything. So you have to make
yes,
sure you be careful. Don't go
yes,
down the rabbit hole. I don't know how expensive it is, but it's really expensive here in New Zealand. So you buy a little punnet, you just be careful. Don't use it for your whole like armor piece. Just use it for a little detail that you need it for.
yes, yes. And it's really it's a drug. That's the perfect way to put it. Foam in general is just like kind of like the drug because one of the things that I was talking with Ted about, Evil Ted,
Yeah, the
is
foam
that
master himself.
the godfather of foam, the foam father, right?
Yeah, phone father.
the
Can we
the thing
this
that
new name from now on? Make him a T-shirt. The phone father. He will love that. Ted will
the
love it.
foam father,
He will love it.
yeah. But the one thing that's so addictive is that you could literally make foam look like anything
Oh yeah,
if you have the right technique and if you got the patience to work with it.
yeah,
And that's why I was so glad to show him at C2E2 last month all of the stuff that I built,
yeah,
just based off like a lot of his patterns and just like scaling it up, scaling it down. He was very proud to see that, and it's true. It's one of the things that if you really take your time with foam, it's addictive.
yeah,
It's addictive.
yeah.
But it's the gift that keep on giving to us, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like right now, I've taken it way back to cardboard. And I find that extremely good. Like, I'll show you something quickly. I'll find it.
Yeah, it's so cool how you've been doing that stuff with cardboard too.
Oops, so basically, I just made that super quick. It took me like
Nice.
maybe half an hour to do. You know, one thing I find about cardboard is it's like when you used to go to drawing class and you can do gestural drawing, right? Then
Hmm.
just for me, just for cardboard, it's like you can quickly do a whip up of a cardboard template and it's like doing a gestural crafting. Because sometimes when you're doing stuff from foam, you're a bit precious with it because hey, this material is costing me quite a bit of money, so I have to be careful with it. But with
Right.
cardboard,
Exactly.
you just go for it, man. And if hey, it doesn't work, start again.
Get a
If it
shoe
works, just
box.
keep just you get a shoebox, and you go to a supermarket. There's normally free cardboard lying around, so
Yeah.
and the big reason why I use cardboard a bit more than I used to now because every time I go to a convention and I always get a family come towards the booth and they'll ask me, look, I have a 9-year-old or 10-year-old child.
Hmm.
Do I get into making costume like you? And how do we start? I always say cardboard, and I always get a blank look, or they'll just laugh at me like, "Hey, that's rubbish. I'm not gonna use that. What stuff do you use?" I said, "No, no, cardboard's the way to go." And I said, so I just have to prove my point by making that guy. You can make
Yeah.
a perfectly cool looking costume just from a basic material, and all it takes is practice and perseverance, and obviously
Yeah.
have some patience as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I haven't made anything out of cardboard just yet, but I do have got a couple of ideas for some set pieces, you know. And
Yeah.
actually, I lied. I did make a couple things out of cardboard for a couple of set pieces that I used in the test, but I will have to remake them. But you're right. It's another one of those things that is super easy.
Mm.
You already have an abundance of it if you get
Yeah.
Amazon packages.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
depending on how thick it is, you can use a lot of the same techniques that you use with foam.
Yeah.
So it's just recycle, recycle,
Yeah.
recycle, keep on giving, and then you just add it to what you're doing with the foam and the needlework and all the other stuff,
Yeah.
and you got full mixed media projects with household items that you just like didn't even buy,
Oh yeah, man.
So it's
I
so
mean,
dope,
like,
and I love the creativity too. Like when
yeah.
I saw you were doing that out of cardboard, I'm like, yes, because it just goes to show you like execution, perseverance, and knowing exactly what you want
Mm.
trumps all of the other stuff when it comes to like material things of that nature. When the mind and the hands,
Yeah.
that's necessarily all that you need.
Obviously, like, it's not as durable as foam or as Wallpro or as 3D printed, but I say like for just for the look of it and for convention and stuff like that, it's perfectly fine for it. But I say like
Hmm.
it was so much fun. It was supposed to be just a quick like a weekend project, just get it done, take some photos for the Return the King anniversary and throw it away. That was my first intention of that costume. But everyone loved it so much, I decided to slow down and try and make it a bit more neater and try and make it look much better. And I was happy that I did because it turned out way better than I thought it was going to be. It
I
was pretty cool.
was I was very pleased.
Yeah,
I was like, he is going for
yeah,
it. Every time
yeah,
you would post a picture, I'm like, oh, okay, here we go.
yeah,
And then when you painted it, I'm like, yeah. I mean, I knew before you painted it. Like once I saw like the actual patterns coming in
yeah.
together, I'm like, yep, yep,
Obviously, the pattern was done extremely quick, as I said, because it was supposed to be just be a quick project. I mean, like what I'm doing now is that I'm starting doing like another video, like a long video of a breakdown how I make the costume. So I'll probably be making a few pieces again. So it'll be nice to kind of slow it down to have a more of a, oh, not screen accurate, but a bit more refined shape. Because there's some, obviously, as you know, when you make something, you're never fully happy with it. You always want to, always can make it better.
yeah,
So this
yeah,
time around, when I do this final video, hopefully I can just readdress some of the stuff that I rushed on because I didn't think I was going to make it perfect. You know what I mean? So now I can like take my time a
yeah,
bit and really slow it down and make it look really cool. So looking forward to spending a bit of time with that, and hopefully people can follow through and maybe make their own as well.
Yeah, that would be dope. And you're right. Like as an artist, we never fully like everybody else will love it, but it's
Yeah,
always something that you look at me like, if I
yeah,
had one more month or if I
yeah,
had one more week, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And it's just like, Tristan, shut up.
yeah,
Be happy. You
yeah,
know, you set your deadline,
yeah,
you hit your targets, you did everything you needed to do. There will be more time after it.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, it was just to the point where when I first started, I wanted everything to be so perfect and
mm,
how I liked it that I
yeah,
would spend a little bit too much time on minutia,
yeah,
like
yeah,
small details that only I or somebody else would like
yeah,
get a kick out of. And now I'm more like deadline focused, which really uh, forces me to change my order of operation
yeah,
because now I'm thinking of all of that stuff on the front end. And
yeah,
when I'm building out my project chart, it's already kind of like baked in there. Like I know I got to hit these points in order to go to step A,
yeah,
B, C, D, and so on and so forth. So,
yeah. It's, yeah.
yeah, it's me. I got to have a
Oh
deadline
yeah,
or I'm going to just keep
yeah, man.
working and
You
working and working.
yeah. Deadline is the most important thing. That's why, like for me, a convention deadline is the best because there's a deadline. Otherwise, you just keep on going forever. You
Yeah,
can constantly change stuff all the time, especially with my own design. I'm not copying
yeah,
anything apart from my drawing. And I can change it. Nobody knows. So
right.
it's extremely dangerous. And having that look, I'm leaving for this con in 2 months, and I give myself maybe a week to get it done, so I can at least test where. Not,
Yeah,
I've
stress
made the
test.
mistake. I made the mistake. Don't make the con your first test of your costume because it will break down or it will be super uncomfortable. So I try to wear it maybe a week before I leave. So at least when I get there, I'll have everything all figured out.
You know. And you want to know what the most dangerous part is?
What's that?
It's fun. It's
Oh yeah,
fun to make.
yeah,
It's fun to do. So it's like you never want to stop doing it
yeah,
because
man.
you bang your head against the wall and doing all this other stuff. But we have so much fun doing it that it's kind of like hard to stop.
Yeah.
And it's just a certain point that it's like, all right, stop.
It's, it's,
It's
it's
time.
time to eat, time to go to the toilet, time to
It,
see the family.
yeah, it's time for you to. And that's the one part of me that I'm still working on because I'm still kind of in my infancy, I would say, as an artist.
Yeah,
I started always been an artist
yeah,
as far as like being a creative kid and being
mm,
able to sketch and do all that
yeah,
other stuff, right? As well as act and everything else. But as a maker,
yeah,
I started in
yeah,
2018. So not too long ago, but long enough to know some stuff,
yeah, yeah,
right? But it was good because it came to me at a certain point in my life where I really needed that creative outlet.
yeah,
So even if I would have started younger, I don't think I would nearly uh, appreciate it and cherish it as much as I do now
oh,
because it came and gave
you,
me that second lease on life that I needed.
yeah, you need that life experience to do this stuff properly.
Yeah,
You have to you have to live life. You have to know who you are. You know, I see all the time. I get children or kids who just finish high school, and they go, look, I want to work in the industry. And I said, look, how old are you? Oh, I'm 18, 17. I said, look, take 6 months off, go travel, see the world, get some experience, get some visual library of different cultures and experience different cultures, and then come back to this industry because you're going to be a much better artist by seeing other works around the world. Let's say,
hmm
for example, if I get asked to make a medieval armor or a Japanese armor, I've been to Japan, I've been to Europe, I've seen the actual armor itself. I mean, obviously, you can Google as much as you want, but it does not compare to seeing it in real life.
yes.
So I say, so if you have time, if you can afford it, I highly recommend go see the world. It'll make yourself a better artist and a better person when you come back from those trips.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Yeah,
And I say the same thing for me. when it comes to scale.
Yeah.
When it comes to the creatures and stuff, I spend a lot of time at the museums.
Yeah.
Zoos, not as much.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Those things move
but a
around
lot of
too much, and you can't get good reference pictures.
and it's just the heart. I kind of like I love animals
Yeah.
too much to see.
Yeah.
I kind of like want to like let them out.
Yeah.
But when it comes to a lot of the time when I looked at the queen or
Yeah.
when I was thinking of the queen, I literally took it I was kind of like deconstructed in my mind, like all of the parts and components as to why I love the queen.
Yeah.
One, I love the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh yeah.
That's my favorite dinosaur, hence my
Oh
last name.
yeah.
Hence my name. So
Yeah.
it's like she has the build and silhouette of a T Rex.
Yeah.
She has parts of her body parts look insectoid,
Yeah.
like I was telling you earlier,
Yeah.
and she has a lot of the makings of one of my favorite creatures, being the xenomorph, and it's just
Yeah.
like so many relatable things, and just like thinking about like what animals today have that specific texture, and what animals that lived in the past or whatever were fossils or replicas I could look at to really be able to get that scale and silhouette. And here at in Chicago, we have the Field Museum, and luckily we have a brand new Spinosaurus that they just put up about like
Whoa.
a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that when you walk in, they got a Spinosaurus Egypticus floating. Then they
Damn.
got a Quetzalcoatlus on the third floor.
Yeah.
But we're most known for our T Rex named Sue, and
Oh yeah.
she's one of the biggest T Rex fossils
Yeah.
to date. And really being able to stand in front of that and kind of get that scale
Yeah.
and that visual in my mind really put me in a place where I needed to be to see how the queen was really gonna look in
Yeah.
my version of it, because I'm a dinosaur lover.
Yeah, man.
And you could see that in my first one being the Royal Guard, like the
Yeah.
positioning and
Yeah.
things of that nature. That's because I'm a Jurassic Park fan first.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man.
I'm a dinosaur lover who's making xenomorphs, so you kind of
Yeah.
see that marriage
Yeah.
between the two. But you're right. Those having those lived experiences and knowing how to study and just like being able to just like throw yourself and immerse yourself into different worlds is just like keeps you growing as an artist.
Yeah, man. And I gotta say, like C2E2 is one of the con on my list that I love to go to, and hopefully, I do make it over, and it'll be cool to go see Sue with you. It'd be quite cool, man. I love
Yes,
dinosaurs as
yeah.
well. I love dinosaurs.
Oh
It'd be quite
yeah.
cool. I mean, if it
You
does
I
happen, we're definitely gonna hit that museum.
please try to do it next year. Please try to do it next year. I have some special surprises for
Oh,
C2E2 2025.
yeah.
I can't say
I'll,
anything just yet.
I'll see
Um,
if I can talk to some of my friends, see if they can maybe pull some strings to make it happen or something. I mean, like as I said, like
oh yeah,
I've seen, I was good friend with the ex sisters, and they're from Chicago, and like for me, it's like, and every time I see post pictures from that convention every year, it just look amazing. I was like, you know what? That's on my list that I want to go to.
yeah, yeah. I had a couple of my international friends come, like Samir.
Oh, Samir,
Samir,
I met him last year in Switzerland. He's awesome. He's a
yeah,
cool dude.
that was my first time meeting
He's
Samir.
he's
Um,
everywhere these days. He's traveling everywhere. He's making the most of life right now,
Hey,
which is
he's
amazing.
just on a world tour.
Yeah,
I even saw him when I was going to the bank, like after C2E2. He was
serious.
just coming from Target. I'm like, oh, so you just like kicking it, huh? I'm like,
Yeah, man.
that's what's up. But he
But
is so cool.
I gotta say that I'm disappointed he's going to Australia and not coming here to see me. I'm like, what? You're this close? Are you not gonna come down
Mm,
just a bit further? It's like,
mm.
so yeah,
Yeah, and I got
yeah,
to get over to
mm,
y'all too. Like I didn't, obviously, doing what I do, the reach has grown, but
yeah,
such good fandoms
yeah,
and loyal friends,
yeah,
all over the country, all over
yeah,
the map now, not just the country or like Canada. So I gotta do a Trisrex World Tours soon too.
yeah, man. But it's
But
like,
definitely try to put that on your list.
yeah,
I
man.
will text I will text you the
Yeah.
date. I'm like, hey, listen,
Yeah.
you know what I do.
Yeah.
BSC 2025.
Yeah.
Just
I'll
trust
try.
me.
I'll try my best. I mean, like, it's as I said, like, it's one of those one that's like it's definitely up there of my one to. I mean, that and celebration. Obviously, I love go one day go to
Oh yeah.
celebration.
Oh yeah.
But I
I
said
gotta go
like,
to celebration myself
yeah.
too.
I mean, this. I mean, like I said like before, the world is so close now with social media. Like we able to talk like this and we able to meet all our friends around the world. It just showed that if you make cool stuff, you put it out there, you will find your people. That's how it is.
Yeah.
That's how the whole makers community has connected. Like for me, like this trip to Switzerland, when I got there and I came back home, I'm just so blessed to be able to be a part of it. But like if I told myself 10 years ago, I'll be doing something like this now, I'll be like, what are you talking about? That cannot be
Yeah.
possible, right? You know?
Yeah. I have those same out of body experiences, man.
Yeah,
And it kind of goes like back to what I was saying as far as like the level of
yeah,
appreciation. Even I think if I would have gotten it younger, I wouldn't have appreciated it as much. But now, like you say, because of the things that we create with our own too, going all over the country, talking to you, there's a possibility, of me going to conventions overseas now and all of this other stuff. It just opened up so many doors. Just because I'm creepy, you know, just me being haunted has
yeah,
opened up so many doors. And like, I've finally met my tribe
yeah,
too, you know, and I think that's one of the things I say. One of my biggest regrets is not starting
yeah.
sooner, but at the same time, it's like a double-edged sword. Would you have loved it as much?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But now that I see that there's so many people around the world that's like me that
yeah,
has this love
yeah,
for these different fandoms and they're makers and artists
yeah,
and they go through the same things that you go through and it's just
yeah,
like I hold on so tight because
yeah, man.
once you find your tribe it's a hard thing to do but you never let them go
Yeah,
you
man.
know
Well, I guess like with me, it's like, if I started younger, maybe I'll hit it with the hiss and the roar, and then I'll kind of like fade out, right? Because I'm starting a bit older, I know what I want from it. I know what I want to achieve from it, and I know this is a marathon, not a sprint. You know, there,
exactly
there,
exactly
there's so
yes
much, I'm still going to learn. Like this whole industry, this whole community, it changes every year. Every year there's a new thing that come out. So there's always constantly learning new, not learning and seeing and inspired by new techniques and new people constantly. So this is my that's why I say it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. If you're in it for a long haul, you're going to survive. If you just want the instant, fame or whatever, you're not going to last that long because you're going to be like a one hit wonder or whatever. So for me, I want this for the long run. I want to experience the whole thing. I want to see where it's going to go 10 years from now. I'm not going to stop. This year or next year.
yeah
I want to see more. I want to see what people can do. I want to see what new techniques going to come out. What new machines going to come out. So for me, that's what's exciting about this whole thing. That what we have now is cool, but it's going to be so much cooler again. Next time we talk 5 years from now.
yeah let's not make it 5 years from now
Oh
but
no, no, no! But
yes
no,
but
you know
yes
what I mean. You know what I mean.
hypothetically yes
Yeah, yeah,
yes
yeah, yeah,
yes and yeah it's just one of those things where I never want to see, like, I never wanted it to be a day where, like, conventions and cosplay isn't cool.
yeah,
And one of the things that I always ask myself, like, during, like, over a period of time, or maybe it's like the end of the year or something else, like, what are you doing to push it forward? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you contributing to the maker and cosplay
yeah,
community as well as the movie industry as well?
yeah,
And not to say that I'm trying to inspire,
yeah.
right? But one of the things that I just want to make things possible for others so they can experience that same happiness that I do.
No, I mean like,
At the end of the day, that's what
mm.
it's about,
I
you know?
I also a time why you do it. For me, it's simple because I love it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
enjoy it, and like
simply
as,
put. Yeah,
as you said, like obviously the byproducts of that is if I can spread the love, spread the enjoyment of what I feel is a bonus. And like obviously now they have a small daughter as well. For me, it's really important to pass on the knowledge to the next generation to make sure that they still can make stuff with their hands. That
yeah,
for me that's almost like the next mission now is to that's why cardboard is a thing because like I know that family right now are finding it hard to have any extra cash. Whereas cardboard, you still can craft, you still can make stuff for your kids, but it's more affordable.
yeah,
I know that foam or warbler or foam clay can be a bit pricey at times because you have to
yeah,
buy the foam, you have to buy equipment, you have to buy safety equipment, you have to buy a Dremel, buy heat gun. But with cardboard, all you need is cardboard, masking tape, scissors, and your imagination, and you're good to go. So,
yeah, yeah. And that's the mission. That's the
yeah, man.
mission. It's just to keep passing it on. And there was
Yeah,
one of my friends. He called out this picture that I didn't. I was just posting
yeah,
cool stuff from
yeah,
C2E2. But he literally called out one of these pictures where it was this little kid looking up at the
yeah,
queen, and he was like, it's almost like the passing of the baton,
yeah, man.
because that could be like the next little Tristan or the next little
Yeah,
James Cameron or the
yeah,
next
man.
little Spicy Ty. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Because
yeah, man.
that was us at a
Yeah,
certain point, and yeah, yeah,
yeah, man.
it's just a level of responsibility.
Yeah, man.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
I
It's
get like it's scary, but it's cool. Kind of like for me, like
just yeah,
it's
yeah,
kind of like like it's almost like I mean, I'm not saying we are public figures because we're not. We're just someone who enjoy making stuff. But again, it's always nice to when you in costume or when you're showing stuff, you see little kids come up to you and you see their look and their face of how much you inspire them or how you make them so happy. For me, that's
mm-hmm,
is always the
mm-hmm.
best feeling when you're in the costume and whoever you are and you get little children come up, want to take a pictures, want to take a photo, and every time I pass them a prop to hold like a sword or a gun and just see their eyes just light up with excitement. For me, that's hands down the most precious gift I can have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I love that. I love that.
yeah,
And it's so cool. It's so cool to be able to, especially
yeah,
nowadays, where you know they look at these movies and they got it on their tablets.
yeah,
They got like the toys, like we was talking
yeah,
about. I think that they kind of get desensitized
yeah.
to a certain level because it's just so. I'm about to be
Everywhere.
36. I'm
Yeah,
still like having fun with all of this stuff
yeah,
because I
man.
remember when you know, that we just had
Mm.
like Blade or like
Yeah,
some of the older Batman films,
mm.
right? But
Yeah, man.
now it's just like one of those things where it's like for us, we have the lived experiences. So for us, it's never not gonna get old when it
Yeah,
comes to like the whole convention things because we grew up with this stuff.
yeah,
We knew a time where it wasn't mainstream to be a
mm.
fan of these
Yeah,
things. Now, for the newer generation of kids, they treat it kind of like a holiday. You
mm.
got a family pass to
Yeah,
C2E2, or you got a family pass to
yeah,
celebration. But it's still so new to
yeah.
us that I hope that the younger generation doesn't take it for
Oh yeah,
granted.
big
That's
time.
my biggest thing.
All right,
I hope that they don't.
all right.
You know.
It's always been an hour, but I'll ask this question. Can I ask if
Oh,
it
oh,
get
my
yeah.
bad. Yes, it
No, no, no,
has.
no. It's been good. It's been awesome. But I ask this question if it gets that I have. If you have unlimited resource budget, let's say James Cameron come, Christian, blank check, do what you want. What would be that one project that you go, sweet, we're making this?
Sheesh. Uh, I don't know, cause so many I've made like I'm making a passion project now
Yeah.
as we speak. So it's
But
kind of
really, but,
I,
but really, you make the you can make the Alien Queen like a full animatronic if you want. If you made it before, it's fine. You can remake it again, but with the resource that he's got to his disposal.
yeah. I would probably take the film that I'm making now
Yeah,
and
yeah,
flesh it out even
yeah,
further. I would just make it like a full feature
yep,
film and just actually be able to buy, the spaces that I do need to actually be able to make the full Empress that I want to make,
Yeah,
but it's just one of those things where I kind of like, it's hard to answer because I don't believe in waiting.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like I'll probably never get I don't want to say that because a lot of things some of my wildest dreams have been coming true, which is why I had to actually pause and think
yeah, yeah,
about some of this stuff, because some of this stuff isn't just necessarily a dream. It's more about like timing. But
yeah.
I would say outside of aliens, I'm going full on Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah. Oh, the big giant gate. Just do it. Just make a park.
Yeah,
Animatronics and
full on
stuff.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, man,
Uh,
that'd be
yeah,
amazing.
Trisrex version of Jurassic Park
Yeah, man.
with dinosaurs that uh mixed up with certain features and attributes from the lizards and stuff that
Yeah,
I house and take
yeah,
care of and things of
yeah,
that
man.
nature. It would be
That sounds
something
good,
like
man.
that.
Yeah,
But
man.
that is between that and then just doing aliens resurgence on a higher level with a bigger
Yeah,
budget.
man. Yeah, just do a crossover. Alien Park.
Yeah, Xeno Park. There you go.
Yes, it's a park.
Xeno
There you
Rex.
go. Or just be like a big giant spaceship. You just get into
Yeah.
and you like just go through. That'd be pretty cool, actually.
I will
All
build a
right.
lot of things. I'll
Yeah,
tell
man.
you that. It wouldn't
Yeah.
just be one. It
No,
would be a lot.
no, it would just be the whole experience. Be like, just go right through. You get the whole thing.
Yep.
Also, man,
Hmm.
I say like it's been great to see you face to face. Hopefully
Face to
that
face.
hopefully the stars and the planet will align. That something will happen pretty soon, and I definitely would love to catch up to you in person. Definitely see all your amazing creatures in person. I mean, like, I've seen them online.
Oh
They
yeah.
look awesome, but I just want to just be face to face with them too, and see all the
Yeah.
details and all the love that you put into your creation. It's been great to admire you from afar. It's nice to finally
Thank
meet you
you.
as well. It's really cool.
Always. Always. Just good. Thank you for having me. I know it's getting a little bit late over there. And yeah, like I say, I'll text you some of the information about next year and
Yeah,
but and hopefully you can make it
yeah,
out.
man. Sounds good to me. All right, thank you. And we'll catch you next time.
Peace.
See you guys. See
You have
you.
a good one,
Catch you
y'all.
later. I will, man. I will. Thank you. All
Peace.
right. See you guys. All right. Awesome. That was a cool chat. Obviously, like I've been following Christian for a long time now, and it's really nice to kind of talk face to face. And as I say, guys, some exciting stuff happening. Hopefully, that once everything kind of fall into place, I can finally announce some pretty cool news. And again, um, what an amazing journey so far, and I'm looking forward to sharing more stuff that I'm going to get up to really soon. Awesome, thanks guys. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.